big holiday of Shavuot is upon us. We're literally only a matter of days before it. And I know we've discussed this in the past and have had entire shiurim done about Shavuot. And we just talked about it a couple of days ago about how Shavuot, although it's the time of Matan Torah, we received the Torah, which really was something we were supposed to prepare for. One interesting thing that you'll notice is that the custom among Klal Yisrael, whether you're Sfaradi or Ashkenazi, it is to read the book of Ruth during the time of Shavuot. And there are different chachamim that discuss why the book of Ruth. The Gaon Mivilna, Alav Shalom, writes, and it's quoted here in the Yalkut Yosef, that because Shavuot is a time where we celebrate the reception of the Torah. And the beautiful part is that before we got to Mount Sinai, there was no Judaism. We were considered the Hebrews, the Israelites, but there was no Judaism yet. HaKadosh Baruch Hu obviously created Adam Rishon. Adam Rishon was a Kodesh Kodashim, Eved Hashem, made one mistake in his life. We wish we only made one mistake in our life. He had Metushelach, he had Chanoch, he had Noach, he had Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, all of these holy people that are in essence our forefathers, especially Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. That in essence Judaism began with them. In fact, the Gemara discusses it in several places, one of them being in Masechet Avodah Zarah, that Avraham instituted the prayer of Shachrit, Yitzchak instituted the prayer of Mincha, and Yaakov Arvit. And so we already know that the Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov fulfilled the entire Torah, even though they were not obligated to do so. But they fulfilled it in a certain fashion where they didn't fulfill it 100% like someone is able to do it now, because again, there are certain rules within the Torah that forbid a Gentile from doing specific things that were only gifted to Am Yisrael. As I've told you in the past, one of the things was Shabbat, where Avraham, the way he would observe Shabbat is the highest level, but he would also violate Shabbat by creating a cow each Shabbat. You're not allowed to create, so he would use the Sefer Yetzirah and literally create a cow. And this is actually what he fed those angels when they came to him, were in essence three Arabs in his eyes. He didn't know they were angels, and he fed them milk and meat. So people ask, how could he feed them milk and meat and still observe the entire Torah? Simple. It wasn't considered meat. It was a created cow. If you can create a cow, you could also eat it with cheese. So Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, in essence, were our forefathers. They're Kodesh Kodashim, on the level of holiness that Yaakov Avinu had is beyond human comprehension, so much so that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the image of Yaakov Avinu, and he put it on his Kisei HaKavod, on his holy throne. The level of holiness of Yaakov Avinu is above and beyond any human comprehension. But yet the whole Judaism in general was officially instituted into the world at Mount Sinai, which means that before Mount Sinai there was no Judaism. We were Israelites, we were Hebrews, but after Mount Sinai, we all had to go through an actual conversion. We had to go through an actual conversion, and the Gaon Mivilna says that this is the reason why, Kadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Am Yisrael to go purify ourselves, dip in a mikveh, stay away from our wives for a few days, to bring a sacrifice. And this is, in essence, all part of Matan Torah. And the Gemara actually also says this is the reason why originally it was supposed to converts of the old generation would actually have to have enough money reserved, or a living cow that they actually kept in preparation for the time of Mashiach, because when the Mashiach comes, they would actually have to bring this cow as a sacrifice. But Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai saw that people were having a tough time affording this, and he issued a takana that there was no longer an obligation for them to maintain it at all times, whether it be the money or the cow itself. Nonetheless, the Gaon Vilna says that the reason why we read the book of Ruth on Shavuot is because just like Ruth was a convert, that from her HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought David HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, and eventually the Mashiach Tzidkenu. In essence, a convert sanctified herself while her sister desecrated herself despite her conversion. This convert Ruth brought David HaMelech, which eventually will bring Mashiach. Her sister Orpah ended up bringing Goliath, the enemy of Am Yisrael. So you see how somebody with a single action, a single decision, could either sanctify themselves while another person could destroy themselves, just with a small decision, sticking with the Torah or going against the Torah. But nonetheless, until this day, we celebrate that this holy woman, this tzadikah, Ruth, converted to Judaism, and from her, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is bringing the Mashiach, and we read it because we are celebrating the Torah where all of Am Yisrael converted to Judaism. This was also the argument against Zimri, who was an old timer, an old man that was one of the few that lived to see Yaakov Avinu. He was one of the grandsons of Yaakov Avinu. He was hundreds of years old, but then when he heard that Moshe Rabbeinu was issuing death penalties to people that were violating the Torah, and some of those people were part of his tribe, Zimri got upset that Moshe Rabbeinu, although the leader, still he did not give him the respect of asking him what he thought about these death penalties of killing people in his own tribe, and that's why Zimri, in essence, tried taking revenge against Moshe Rabbeinu by going with Cosby, the Midianite, and embarrassing Moshe Rabbeinu in front of everyone by taking this Goya, this non-Jewish woman, and saying to Moshe Rabbeinu, what? What you're saying that I'm not allowed to be with her? I'll convert her. Who says that you converted your wife? This foolishness came obviously because of his anger, and the Gemara says that anyone that is angry forgets his wisdom. Had he actually remembered what happened not long before that, during the time of Matan Torah, you would have known that everybody converted. Everybody that was at Mount Sinai converted to Judaism. That included Yitro, included his daughter Tzipora, that was the wife of Moshe Rabbeinu, and included Moshe Rabbeinu, and included all of Am Yisrael. We all accepted the Torah at that time, and hence the reason why, till this day, there are two ways of being Jewish. Either your mother is Jewish, and therefore you are Jewish, or you convert to Judaism by accepting the entire Torah. But nonetheless, one of the things that we do is we celebrate this special day. This is actually a very special day for the entire world, but also a very unique day for converts that should know that this is a unique time.